Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about pre-notification and how to set up so you can notify adjacent properties, or if you're required to contact people that are on the chemical sensitivity lists that are starting to be legally required. So let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our notification. We're going to do that under Data, Customer Parameters, and Letter Setup. This is what you would send to the adjacent properties. Now, if you are doing something where you're doing call aheads, this is where you might do something that you actually export out to like a spreadsheet or a PDF or something like that, and then call them ahead. But the thing is, though, is you do have to have at least something created in order to do this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new one, and we're going to call it Pre-Notify Neighbor. There we go. And we're going to make it a postcard. And we need to make sure to check mark the neighbor notification. Now, because these are postcards, and if you look at it, we're going to go ahead and do this as a letter object. We're going to try to. Oh, you know what? I think it only lets me do letter object. Okay, well, that makes things easier. And you're going to take your postcard that you've created. Now, again, you're going to, have to at least create something in order for you to be able to do it, even if you're doing for like a call ahead as opposed to actually sending a postcard. But here's this one I created. Go hit Control A, Control C. And we'll close that. And then I'm going to come here to this back top. I'm going to click on my little box there. And I'm going to do that famous paste picture meta file. So we're going to edit, paste special, picture meta file. And there you see it's going to throw that information in there. And you're also going to set how often or how far ahead you want to print this postcard out for. So again, if you're creating your invoices, you're printing out your work, and you need to send a postcard out to notify your the property, you're saying that when we print the work that's 3 days ahead, generate the postcard for that customer. Or again, the adjacent property or the people on the call ahead list. So again, you're gonna set that up there. You're gonna hit save, and once you got it in there, now we can start using it for the postcard. So we also need to indicate that the service itself is a pre-notification service. So we're gonna go to Data, Product Parameters, Services, Program Specials. Under the Services tab, we're gonna pick our service, and let's say it's fungicide here. And you'll notice on the lower left-hand corner there is a checkbox that says pre-notification. We're gonna hit that checkbox, and we're gonna hit save. Now again, you can create your service and so on and so forth and hit that checkbox when you create it, but like I said, it does have to have that checkbox check mark. Now, once you have that done, you're going to go to your customer that has those pre-notification neighbors. Even if the person is in the system, even if they're an active customer of yours, you still have to put them in here whenever you need to go through and set up for pre-notification. So yes, you could possibly be contacting customers that you service with your pre-notifying someone else. So again, you're going to put your thing in there. You're going to put the customer's information here. I'm going to click New. I'm going to put in the street address. So let's say it's actually 455 North Rochester Road that they have. You have to notify that person. Let's get this in here. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put in the zip code, and what's nice about this is when we put the zip code in, it does the same thing with customers. We're just going to throw in the city and so on and so forth. And let me go ahead and put the phone number 555-5555. Oops, too many fives there. Okay, so once you get in there, hit save. But like I said, unfortunately, you will have to go through and punch in each single person that's on that list. Now, one thing you may want to do, and again, this is kind of a tip or trick if you want to do it, is you may actually want to take that sensitivity list and add them as customers in the system, because what that will allow you to do is once they're in the system, and you have to geocode them, which means you have to have Mapping Assistant. Once they're in the system and you geocode them, then you can actually go through and say, I want to find all my customers within X amount of miles, and you would use a customer flag, maybe you have like pre-notification required or something like that, and you can say with that pre-notification flag, and you can actually generate a report, and it's going to show you all the people that are in there, so you know who to add to that pre-notification list. Because again, keep in mind, whether or not they're a customer in your system, they do have to be added in this little two-house icon right there in order to be considered a pre-notify. All right. So once you got that in there, you're going to go ahead and I'm going to add that fungicide to this customer. Not a lot of energy today. Had a late night last night. And my daughter took her out to play some laser quest, so she had a lot of fun with that. Laser tag or whatever. So again, we get the fungicide. Going to make this an active service. Save. Oh, everything's going to say can't do it for this day because, well, I'm doing it on a Sunday, and apparently Sunday's not an allowable day. Alright, so we got in there, save, okay, that's fine. Alright, there we go. So, now we have, the postcard setup. Again, the postcard we set up under the customer parameters, letter setup. Alright, once we have the postcard set up, we have the service tied to the, pre-notification checkmark on the service that needs to be pre-notified. Let's go ahead and pull that back up here again. Alright, there you go. And now once we have that on the customer themselves, we're going to put in those people that need to be pre-notified. Like I said before, whether or not they're customers in the system, you do have to put them in there, and then that would be able to generate a postcard for those people. So, when you go to pull your work, you're going to go to the invoices here. We're going to tell it to do the fungicide, because that's the one that we had set for pre-notify. Get up here, almost there. There we go. All right, set all our criteria. We're going to hit get invoices. You'll see there's the two services. They have the pre-notification, or the fungicide. There's two customers I have in my system. I'm going to tell it to print. Okay. Now, you do have to print invoices in order for it to generate these postcards. If for some reason you're not doing invoices, you can still mark it, but when the first time it asks you to do the print, just save it as a junk print. Okay. This is something I found out actually today. I didn't realize, but again, you do have to actually print invoices. So again, I'm going to print mine to a junk print. And I call it, well, junk. Well, actually, I'll call it junk this time. J-U-N-K. There we go. Save. And this is where it's going to ask me the postcard that I want to send them. So this is where I'm going to select that pre-notify neighbor that I just created. If we take a preview of it, okay, you notice this is what the postcard that would be sent out to that adjacent property. Now, like I said before, there are some people that need to pre-notify for like mosquito spraying, but they're not actually planning to send out postcards. So again, you could modify this process by telling it to export out to a spreadsheet. Oh, it's already on there. And so what you would do is you'd maybe have something like pre-notify list, and then do something like 3-22-115, and again you tell it where to save it. We're gonna hit save. Oops, well, let me save on my desktop. Why not? There we go. Okay, and again you're gonna put the information in there. Hit OK. Hit OK. It's gonna say that the records got exported. Now, if we take a look at that pre-notify list, you'll see there is the information that actually got exported. And if we scroll over a little bit, there's the phone number that you would then call. Okay. Now, would it be nice if they allowed you to export to like a call ahead list or something a little bit simple? Yeah, it would be nice. Unfortunately, again, this is the way the software is currently designed, and hopefully maybe someone might put that in as a feature request or something like that. But as I was saying, is you set all that up there, and you can export out to the thing. If you plan not to print anything, then just hit cancel. If you actually need to print out those postcards, hit print, hit OK. Again, this is what the preview of the postcard would look like. Okay, all right. Let's take a look here. Oh, what's the back of the postcard? Where's that thing I put in there? There it is. Okay, but like I was saying, is you would go through, do all that, and then when you're done, in this case, I'm doing also a driver's report. I can print out my driver's report, and this may be actually what I'll print out. It actually send it out to the printer or something like that. So, like I was saying, is 3 things. You got to make sure that the postcard's created. You got to make sure that the service is set for pre-notify, as well as make sure that the customers have those pre-notification neighbors on their screen. Once you have all your ducks in a row, you'll be able to actually generate that call ahead list or print those postcards. So, I hope this helps out, and you have yourself a wonderful day.